I'll try and restart it.
Yeah.
Try and refresh now.
I just got a notification that you went live.
There's still the thumbnail on my screen though. Oh, there you go. Okay, apologies for that. I think we're live now. Hello? Oh, okay. I think we should be live now. I'm sorry for the delay. I've literally been talking for about 15 minutes already, and I guess it didn't work. So apologies for that. But we're gonna be. I already went through a couple pairs, so. Anyways, I'm gonna restart. Apologies for the delay. I really thought the chat was delayed. Um, how's everyone doing? What's up, Ben? Thanks for letting me know that it wasn't working, because I would have been talking for probably a lot longer without realizing no one could watch. Mark, hello. Devin, what's up, guys? Where's everyone from? Hello, hello. So sorry about the delay. This is funny. I already finished my coffee. Went through the DXY, Euro dollar, and dollar CAD, and no one was watching. I'm doing good, thank you. Doing good. Where are you guys from? How's the quarantine going? Or is everyone on lockdown or watching Euro dollar for buy? Yes, me too. I will be going into it again in just a second. France, South Africa, Latvia, Greece, Bulgaria, Balkans, Germany, Bangladesh. Awesome. Arizona. That's great. That's great. All right, we're going to be going into the charts. So the main focus feels like I'm redoing it everything again, but anyways, the main idea is just to try out this live stream format. Obviously, since most people are in quarantine, might be a good format to try out. I've been recording a few YouTube videos in the past like week or so that I haven't wanted to release. I feel like there wasn't really an end goal to the video and there wasn't much value I could provide. It was just taking everyone with me throughout the day, but I do pretty much the same thing every single day. So yeah, it gets boring after a while. So we can try this live stream format out, see how it goes, and maybe we can do it more recurring. Maybe during the quarantine, even go to every day if you guys like it. When did you realize you wanted to become a trader? That's a great question. I've actually always been fascinated somehow by the stock market or the financial markets overall. And yeah, I didn't really know what it was. Even when I was younger, I was like maybe 13, 14. I had no idea what things were, what I was doing, but I had like stock paper trading accounts, and I was just buying stuff just because it was fun to do. So yeah, then later on, in high school, I started, yeah. Bitcoin was really what got me started. Just the whole September 2017 was it, I believe, before the big bullish run. That's what really got me interested in analyzing stuff, charts, and all of those things. So I started buying some Bitcoin, just messing around with crypto. I don't do it anymore. I mainly focus on Forex at the moment. Can go back to full screen. Focus more on Forex at the moment. So yeah, but after messing around with Bitcoin, got introduced to the Forex market, and yeah, I've been doing it ever since. So really helpful analysis coming. Yes, gonna be doing the analysis in just a second. Let's do it every day. Every day is great. Awesome. All right, let's see how today goes, and we can maybe try and do it every day. By the way, do you guys like this this time zone, or do you prefer it to be like later in the day? Gotta oh, the all right, let's go to the chart. Those red tags are really easy. You just write top 6 and press enter. I mean, I already have it, but if you want to do like extra, for example, you just do extra and it just creates it. It's a blank chart. Just you need to make sure that it's not the name of any pair. So yeah, I hope that helps. It really depends, Nassim. It's a great question you have. He said that he's confused about why Forex traders sell courses and teach Forex if they make so much money. Is it generally profitable or... Yeah, so I don't share how much I make. Obviously, it wouldn't be interesting, nor I don't actually make that much. I'm still very early in my process, so yeah, but depends. There's some courses which are really bad and they're just there for people to make money, and they actually have no idea what they're doing in the markets. And there's very good courses that from like genuine people that are actually trying to help out, and like Falcon, I'm enjoying it a lot. I've learned so much. So yeah, you need to do your own research and try to find a course that fits to your needs. About the funded program, especially FTMO, that's a great question. I've actually made a video about it. I haven't released it though. I don't want to talk about funded processes too much, because I think people just try and get the funding way too early. I'm currently actually doing the FTMO challenge. I'm on the verification step, which is step number 2. I started it a couple of days ago. So you need to be careful and be actually ready to take on the extra capital. How I see it is it's one step in the direction of getting investor capital, which is one of my end goals. Obviously not anytime soon, but yeah, it's a good first step in that direction. But make sure that you know what you're doing, that yeah, before trying and taking on these challenges, because some of them can be very expensive, and it just ends up being a waste of money. Falcon is about $100 a month, I believe, but you can check the website. It's falconfx.com. Yeah, FTMO is not really suited for the Falcon style, as you need to close positions during the weekend. So yeah, it's not really the greatest funding program, I guess, but it is what it is. All right, I apologize for the delay. We're gonna get into the analysis. We're gonna start with the DXY. So higher time frame structure on the DXY is pretty solid, is extremely clear. We could have gotten an impulse breaking this double top and then retracing back in. That would have been a lot better. Catching people in the wrong side of the market and then retracing, that would have been much better. But obviously we know that we do not need to reach this area. If we go to the weekly and hide this, we can actually see this full weekly retrace. If we hide this week, look at that full retrace back into the pattern. So lots of downside momentum after such a move like this. Now, while we go back to the lower time frames, what we're looking for is a correction, because we can't be impulsing all the way down. We need some form of correction to keep the impulse. You can't see the screen? Can everyone see the screen? Can you type 1 if you can see the screen? But yeah, we're looking for some form of correction to keep going. My screen is frozen. Can you see it now? Yeah, my screen seems to be frozen. Apologize for that. Apologize for all the technical issues. Let's see if we go like this. Can you see it now? Should be fixed. Okay, perfect. So I was saying we're looking for some form of correction to keep heading to the downside. So as we go to the 1 hour chart, I was personally looking at this type of structure. If we go back a little bit, this Falcon type flag obviously got the first correction. Then we got this ascending, looking for another bottom. 2 bottoms would have been great, and then looking at a third touch to the upside before continuing to the downside. Obviously we didn't get that. We're getting more of this rising wedge type formation, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but it is very, very clean and works out pretty well. So yeah, now we're just looking at how price is gonna get to this area right here. So if it gets here impulsively, or if we get a correction here and create more of this, of an ascending formation. I apologize for my drawing, it's absolutely horrible. But if we get more of an ascending formation to then come back to the downside. If we get here impulsively, we're gonna wait for a retrace back and maybe a 15-minute hover to then keep going to the downside. But yeah, more downside from this area here would be awesome. Yeah, the horizontal flag would have been much better, but it is what it is. This still looks very, very clean. So let's go now to the inverse, which is euro dollar. The higher time frame, obviously, we're looking at pretty much the same thing, just the opposite way. On the lower time frame, we're still getting this wedge formation. And obviously, for people who don't know, I don't trade the DXY. I trade euro dollar. I just use the DXY as reference. Yeah. So yeah, so we have this rising, this descending wedge formation. Now we're looking at potentially more of this corrective behavior all the way to this outer structure. And then we can actually get involved either on the break of a descending channel like this, but I would be more interested in actually getting in on the first flag. So waiting for an impulse up, a 15-minute flag, and getting involved in that. I think that would be the better move, to wait for some more confirmation, as I'm not the biggest fan of these descending channels. They can just keep trickling down and tagging you out. So yeah, It also has this element of head and shoulders, but I'm not really a big fan of head and shoulders. So we could keep correcting sideways and then break to the downside. I'm not interested in any shorts at the moment. We could be coming back down to this double bottom area, but I would just wait till we get here and then see if we can get involved in some sort of long. Yeah, exactly. It's a steep, larger flag, so risk entry isn't ideal. Obviously, it also depends on your style of trading. I prefer to wait for the first flag, for the first impulse up and 15-minute flag in order to get involved. But yeah, let's keep it simple. Dollar Swiss. I don't have dollar Swiss on my watch list. We can have a look in a little bit. I'm going to try and speed this up a little bit and not try and spend as much time on every pair. But dollar CAD, one of my favorites at the moment. Just like the DXY, we didn't really reach this double top, which would have been much better, but heavy retraces back into the pattern. Now looking for a continuation to the downside. I like this flag a lot better, even though it's a little steep, but it's more of a FALCON type flag, which I prefer a lot to the rising wedge formation on the DXY. We are getting another push to the downside, so we could be breaking early. In that case, I would wait for an impulse down and to get involved in the first flag. If we keep trickling up or correct, move up, create some sort of ascending channel, this would be the ideal to then try and get a sell from either the outer structure or the double top here. It all depends on how price gets to this area. Obviously, if it's impulsive like this, let's see if we can. Yeah, let's go. Let's go like this. If it gets impulsively to this area, obviously disregard this part here. If it gets here impulsively, I wouldn't get involved in a risk entry, just like euro dollar. I would be waiting for a push down and a hover to get involved. If it gets there correctively, I could be interested in the risk entry. Yes, they need some more developments, but it's looking pretty good at the moment. Obviously, things can change very quickly. Let's go on to dollar yen, which is another one of my favorites. It looks like we're breaking a little lower, so we can delete this. It's not the clearest price structure. Let's put this ray line in. I'm looking more at a move back up to this area to then get involved in a short. Obviously, the ideal trades would have been either from the top here, either this hover, but yeah, I missed them. So a 15-minute hover right now on dollar CAD. I would not get involved in a hover at this area right here, no. I'm either waiting for price to reach these two areas right here or to start impulsing out and correcting here. Obviously keeping in mind about this low right here. So yeah, looking at a larger flag on here, obviously it could be creating some sort of expanding pattern if it keeps trickling lower, but we'll see. We'll see. It still needs some more development. So let's see how it plays out in the next few hours. Euro Aussie, not the biggest fan of Euro Aussie. I was looking at a larger flag, a push up from these areas to then get involved in a sell, but obviously we're forming a much larger flag, and compared to the size of the impulse, this is way too big of a correction for my taste. So probably not gonna get involved on Euro Aussie. Why don't use indicators? I just focus on price action and structure. As you can see, the charts are pretty clean. I like to keep it this way, and especially in Falcon, we do not use indicators. We just rely on, as I said, price action and structure. It just cleaner. It's much simpler. We're keeping things simple. I'm not a big fan of indicators anyways, so. Next one is pound pairs. We're looking very interesting. I'm starting to look more at pound dollar than pound Swiss and pound yen. The higher time frame structures are very, very good though. We can see how we just break the low, catch people on the wrong side of the market, and then impulse back in, and now we're looking for corrections to keep going to the upside. Running channel, yes. Running channel on Euro Aussie is a possibility. In that case, would be something along those lines. This wick is not the greatest, but something along those lines. That could be a way of getting involved in the sell from around this area. Yes. So yeah, back to the pound pairs. The higher time frame structure is very, very clear, catching people on the wrong side of the market. Now looking for continuation to the upside. Pound yen, I'm not really liking this correction. It's not the cleanest one. So we can try and draw this in. So we'll be monitoring this area right here. We're obviously getting the last push down to create this descending formation, but I like pound dollar a lot more. So we're gonna be looking at this area right here for longs. Obviously, we can go back to the higher time frame structure. It's very, very similar to pound yen. Yeah, exactly. So we're going to be looking at pound Swiss. Pound Swiss is a little different, the higher time frame structure, but still broke the low, retraced back in heavily. So yeah, not a fan of pound Swiss. If you're looking at pound yen, pound Swiss, I would definitely be looking at pound yen more. But out of the three, pound dollar looks the cleanest at the moment. So really not a fan of this structure right here. Seems like we're getting some type of expanding pattern. It's this double top, maybe a move back down, but I'm not a fan at all. So yeah, anyways, pound, Aussie Kiwi. High time frame structure is very, very good on Aussie Kiwi. Same thing, breaking the low, retracing heavily to the upside. Now looking for continuation to keep going to the upside. Obviously, we know Aussie Kiwi is very corrective, as you can see. So we kind of need to read between the lines. But we're looking at this expanding pattern to get to the upside, but obviously we started developing this ascending, which I'm not a fan of. Could be coming back down to this double bottom area, but yeah, I would make the flag much larger, and I'm not a big fan of it. So probably going to be staying away from Aussie Kiwi as well. Aussie dollar is looking a little better. We have this larger flag currently forming. We could be looking at some more corrective behavior right here to create a descending to start moving up. Pound dollar could hover. You're seeing this as the head and shoulders? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I would be more interested in getting a clear second bottom though. If not, would get involved in a flag once it breaks to the upside. I do have TradingView Pro. It's definitely not necessary. The free version is just fine. You just need to remove some ads every now and then. But yeah, Euro Kiwi, same thing, very clean structure. I know people are looking, we can do some pattern separation here, and yeah, so I'll go into it in a second. But I was looking more at this larger flag to get involved to the downside. Obviously, we're forming some very corrective price action at the moment, so we could be pattern separating and seeing this as a little bit of its own pattern. So impulse down, a correction like this, and then breaking to the downside a bit earlier. I don't know what you guys think, but that's currently my thoughts. I don't think I would get involved at this stage. I like flags that have two bottoms at least, so maybe something like this, but still have a much too large flag, and the impulse is pretty short compared to it, so not a big fan. The higher time frame you go into to start your analysis, so I usually start with the weekly and go down to the daily, 4 hour, 1 hour. And then in some special conditions, we use the 15-minute charts to filter out some stuff. TradingView Pro is needed for backtesting. Yes. Yes, I can definitely do more of these coffee and charts in the future. I'll try and do more. Let's see if we're going to every day or not, but we'll figure something out. Next Falcon experience student. That would be great, but I'm still too early in my journey, and that's not really one of my goals. I'm also not very good at explaining things. I kind of struggle a little bit, which is why this could be helpful. So anyways, we'll see. Singapore dollar, US dollar. Was looking at a potential flag here, but obviously this is way too messy, so I'm gonna stay away from that. The S&P is very interesting. Obviously have this larger expanding formation, which we tend to get quite a bit on the S&P. Broke the double bottom, retraced heavily back to the upside. Now lower time frames, we had this descending. We had this descending that obviously broke the double bottom. Impulse up. We're now looking at this flag right here. God, dude. TradingView. We're looking at this flag. It's not the cleanest price going up, but we can spot the impulse overall, and we have this flag right here. So we could get involved in this very soon. I'm liking the corrective behavior. If we go to the 15-minute chart, the corrective behavior here. So if we keep getting something like this, I would I would love to get involved even in a risk entry around this area here. If not, we can always wait for an impulse up and a 15-minute hover to get involved to the upside. And yeah, targeting first of all the top of this flag and potentially the start of this correction here, and we'll see whether we can get more upside after that. But liking a lot the S&P. It's definitely something I'm looking at very closely. Let me add just, I know someone asked for dollar Swiss and euro pound. I actually haven't looked at those in a while, so we'll discover everything together. You're doing great, bro. Thank you. Really appreciate it, man. All right, next one is US oil. Obviously, we know the inverse correlation with dollar CAD. Very interesting one. Obviously broke to, I believe, all-time lows on this chart. I think if we go back much further, it's not all-time lows, but at least since 2003, we're at all-time lows. So I don't think this will go much lower than this. Obviously, we're at 19, almost $20 a barrel, which is extremely low. We're trickling down, so we could definitely, I know some people have some sort of thing like this and are expecting price to move back to like $10 a barrel, which is definitely a possibility. Still think it's highly unlikely that we will see oil around those areas. Either way, we're at an extremely key area. Maybe we won't ever see oil at this price again. So it's definitely something we can get involved in, or at least look at closely. So we have this, we broke the overall double bottom here. We have this mini double bottom, which let's see how this develops, but we could be coming back down like this and then try and get involved. Obviously the risk entry, let's see how this develops, but maybe the risk entry is in the better position, as we know we can just keep trickling down. We do have this descending type formation here, which is a good sign, but we can always wait, as I've been saying on the other pairs. We can wait for an impulse up and get involved in a 15-minute hover. Again, sorry for my terrible drawings. There we go, a little better. But yeah, huge potential on US oil. Let's delete this. Even just back to where price was, let's see, 77, 80 days ago. So a couple months ago, it was at $60 a barrel. So even if we move back to this area, there's huge potential. And correlating with a push down on dollar CAD, it just could be insane. Which broker is best for the FTMO challenge? I have no idea. I'm doing it with the FTMO one, but yeah, I haven't done much research on it, so can't really help you out on that one. I'm so sorry. Dollar. All right, natural gas. Natural gas looking very good. Obviously, this would be the better area, the outer structure, to look for the long back to these areas. But we broke the double bottom here. If we put the ray line back on, let's go to the lower time frames. Yeah, so we broke the double bottom and are now forming some type of running channel that could eventually start breaking to the outer structure. Yeah, strong buy on oil. Strong buy. After some confirmation, obviously. And yeah, so we're getting this FALCON type flag. obviously we could have gotten involved in a short-term sell from this third touch. Seems that we're going a little early. We had this descending formation which we broke to the upside, but straight retraced just after that. So key area to monitor at the moment is this double bottom here. Let's see how we get to this price. If we get correctively, impulse up, first flag, we'll get involved in a long at that point. No, I'm currently in step 2 on FTMO. I'm not gonna share the capital I chose, just because I don't think it's necessary. Everyone should like choose what they're comfortable with, but you can probably guess. I'll leave it at that. Yeah, so what I was saying, we're monitoring this area. Let's see how price gets there. Obviously, we're going to be waiting for a first flag if it gets there impulsively, but also if it gets there correctively, I will be looking at a first flag. If it keeps breaking to the downside, next area is the outer structure. Silver is another very long-term buy that we could get involved in. Obviously, just like natural gas, we could be going to much lower, and this would be a much better area to get involved in, but it doesn't have to. We broke below the previous low, retraced back in, starting to get some form of correction. So we're looking for more upside. Obviously, we have this running channel type formation which could come back down, potentially for a double bottom, potentially to the other low. Let's see how it develops from here. But longer term, we're looking at silver to move back to the upside. Wheat is very clean, responds very well to patterns, as you can see right here. So we're looking for a sell. It looks like we're dropping a little earlier than expected. Was looking more at a more developed flag with the middle section right here. Looking at a third touch to get involved to the downside. Obviously, it seems that, seems that we're dropping a little a little early. I was looking at this hover, but yeah, obviously not gonna get involved at this stage. Gonna wait for more confirmation. So maybe another 15-minute hover like this. We know we could be just creating an expanding formation and come back for the third touch anyways. So that's why I'm waiting for more confirmation at this stage. Yeah, exactly. Knowing how much capital someone trades or which one you chose won't help you in your own trading. So that's why I don't like sharing this stuff. That's why I recorded a video about my funded accounts, which I'm working on the Ep.1 at the moment, and I decided to not post it for that reason. Anyways, that's pretty much my watch list. I'm gonna be going over some of the pairs you guys requested really quick. We've been doing this for quite a while now. It's almost an hour, I think. So yeah, I went into a lot more detail than I wanted to, but I wanted it to be a little more chat than full analysis. But anyways, it is what it is. I'm gonna be going over those 3 pairs really quick, and then we can I can answer some questions really quick, and then I think we're gonna be done for today. But anyways, dollar Swiss. So pretty clean structure on dollar Swiss. This bearish candle puts me off a little bit. As you can see, we completely retraced the previous weekly candle. We did slightly break below the double bottom, retrace back in, so that's very good signs. But yeah, I wouldn't get involved at this stage. If we go on the 1 hour, we got this push down, and it looks like we could be forming similar to dollar yen, to this part right here, a rising wedge to keep moving back to the double bottom, but it's not something I would get involved in at this stage. It would need a lot more development. So yeah. Euro pound looked really good. I wasn't able to get involved, as you can see, in this descending formation and the buy, which was extremely clean, like literally textbook price action right here. Obviously we had a more flat formation like this. This is like as clean as it gets. Descending formation, double bottom within this descending, big arc formation right here. This just screams upside back to here. So this, if any of you got involved in this is very clean. I couldn't get involved in it, but yeah, extremely clean trade to the upside. Now it looks like we're coming back to the downside. We got some heavy momentum, but yeah, we haven't really gotten any solid continuation. We're forming this descending channel, so maybe if we get some sort of larger flag to keep going to the downside, that could be interesting. But yeah, we're pretty much in the middle of absolutely nowhere right now, so I would probably stay away from it. Big trade was to the upside. And dollar Mexican peso. So I actually haven't, as you can see, my chart is completely blank on here. Never actually done any analysis on this, but we can go for it really quick. Obviously we had this wedge formation, which again I'm not a big fan of, but impulse, correction, continuation. Now let's go on the lower time frames. Seems that we could get, this is actually not bad at all. We're getting a very similar price action as dollar CAD. I'll try and pull them up side by side right here. Dollar CAD, 1 hour chart. Yeah, as you can see, it's almost exactly the same, with this slightly ascending FALCON flag, which doesn't really mean anything, but yeah, very similar price action. So this could be an interesting pair if you are looking to trade. If you're looking to trade it, I would look at it exactly the same as I'm looking at dollar CAD. Obviously the double top could be an area of value. Actually, we're pretty corrective right here. So if we keep moving in this way, we could get involved at the double top, or obviously at the outer structure would be even more probable for a sell. I would still wait for a first flag. So from the double top or the outer structure, maybe not the outer structure, depending on how it gets there, but better would be a corrective move there, a impulse down, and a 15-minute hover that you can get involved in to the downside. obviously targeting, first of all, this area right here, and eventually much lower. Yeah, there's I use what's it called, an indicator on MetaTrader. It's called position size calculator for MT4, so you can download it and add it there. But there's, let me try and see. There's the baby pips calculator, which is great, that you can use. There you go, babypips.com. You can use this, put your balance, your risk percentage, stop loss, and it tells you everything you need to know. My FX book is really good as well. I've used it in the past. So yeah, more downside on this, but I think that pretty much, let's go over it real quick, see if anything has changed in the past. While I was talking, no, not really. Actually getting more downside on here. So I guess this running channel either broke to the downside early, but with this wick, most likely gonna start moving back to the upside, I suppose. Just scrolling through to see if anything interesting is happening. Okay, so natural gas is still pushing lower. Anyways, I think we're gonna call it a day. If you guys have any questions. Why did you choose Falcon out of all the trading schools? I actually don't know. I'm very happy about my decision though. It was the first course, the first Forex course I've ever taken, and I'm super happy with it. I believe that, I don't know, I had this feeling that it was, that the people are part of the community. I saw Michael Bamber's Instagram. That's the first one I came across with from Falcon, and I had the idea or the feeling that it was much different than the others. Everyone was posting profits, everyone's posting how much money they're making, and the people in Falcon were just, first of all, super supportive of each other, and they weren't posting profits. No one cares about how much money you're trading with, how much you make. There's no egos. If you were watching the YouTube live last night, Mark talked about not having egos in the Falcon community. So that's the biggest decision on why I went with them. It just felt different than the others. The others were actually trying to sell you a course and show how much profit they're making, and Falcon was just not doing the same thing. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed maybe the first episode of Coffee and Charts. I definitely want to try and have more of a chat in the, if we're gonna keep doing these episodes rather than digging in to the charts so much. I've just spent 50 minutes just going over charts pretty much. So yeah, hopefully we can make it a little more interactive and answer questions in the next ones. So my forecasting routine, I'll show you right now. This is my what's it called, Notion. So how I forecast, I'll just get the template. I have a daily template, so this is what I use. I believe it's a Michael Bamber template actually. I might have copied it from him, but it does the job. So I have my daily watch list. I just have the pairs here, and just I don't really use this much. The interesting part is here. So what I do is I write like higher time frame stuff. I write some notes and then add some screenshots of my forecasts. Let's pick some random one so you can see. Yeah, so this is what my forecasting looks like. I'm not the greatest at drawing, so I apologize, but this is what I do. Hope this helps. Falcons only fly high. More than just being a better trader, is about being a better person. Absolutely, absolutely. I wouldn't know what to recommend for a funding, a prop trading firm that you can get funding from. I don't want to recommend any specific ones just because I'm not familiar with them. I can tell you that I'm currently doing the FTMO challenge. So if you are looking to get funding, definitely make sure to do your own research about FTMO, read reviews, and yeah. Just be careful before buying any of the challenges. When is the next session? Great question. Should we do this a little more frequently? Maybe tomorrow? Who knows? I'm gonna be looking on my Instagram, so if you guys wanna keep chatting, feel free to DM me and we can figure it out. Maybe we can do one tomorrow. Definitely gonna try and do it a lot shorter. Want to aim at maybe half an hour tops. We're going for 50 minutes right now, and maybe a bit less charts and more questions, like we're doing right now, like routine stuff, forecasting, and all of those things. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed. I really appreciate everyone that watched, and yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna try and do more lives, and definitely once I figure out what type of videos I want to make on this channel, we'll be making more videos as well. So anyways, really appreciate everyone's time, and I'll see you very, very soon. Thank you. Bye bye, guys.